Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Nelson, I am nervous for podnapping.
Oh,
because for podnapping, I would maybe let's a bit of a sizzle at top. Mm-hmm. She's brought in like a lot.
Yeah, but in a lot of things.
Like there was a suitcase involved.
Yeah, yeah.
So immediately my guard was up for podnapping.
Yeah. What's in the suitcase, Cambo? A saxophone.
Oh.
Am I going to play the saxophone? No, I'm not.
Oh, interesting.
Makes it more confusing, doesn't it?
It does. God, more questions than answers, but stick around.
Stick around. You'll find out. I've also realized what this podcast would be like if we were to do it full time. Again, just as an FYI, we're recording in advance. Mm-hmm. And this is like the third day in a row I think we've done, or almost.
Yeah. Apologies in advance for any news items we bring up that you're like, oh, this all happened weeks ago.
I'm so nervous that something huge is going to happen that like literally everybody on Reddit is talking about.
Another Wall Street bets type situation.
Yeah.
Where all of Reddit get behind one thing.
Yeah. And we're like, anyway, here's this stupid shower thought.
Remember the end of March when we recorded that episode?
Yeah. It's really become like a, just like, got to get into it.
Yep.
Like a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It feels like a 9 to 5.
It does feel like a 9 to 5.
It's far less hours,
and
but
like
mentally more.
Like a proper 9 to 5, we're about 40% here.
Yeah, that's right. Most of the time I'm taking breaks, mental breaks, obviously, in my head from conversation. It was funny because I was talking to Ellen last night and saying that you said something on the podcast about whatever, I don't know. And she said, oh, she had a funny like anecdote to add on to that. And then I was like, wait, that might have been how Cambo started talking about the subject, but sometimes I tune out and I don't know if that's what he brought up or not. So we'll find out when we really listen to the podcast.
You can't confirm with me because you weren't really listening when she brought it up to know whether or not it was the same thing.
Can't remember. Don't know. Don't like to pay attention too much in my life at any one point in time. You never know when I'm going to need space for something, that's going to happen quickly.
Yeah.
Like if we get sirens just start sounding like, oh, maybe nuclear missiles coming, you're going to be all panicked and like, oh my God, my head is full with podcasting stuff. I'm going to be like, oh, I saved 20% for just this occasion.
Or alarms going off, nuclear bomb imminent.
Yeah.
You weren't paying attention. You're ignorantly bliss.
It was part of that 20% that I turned off. Any warning sounds.
But I'm panicking that I'm about to die imminently.
Yeah.
But you're happy-go-lucky.
Still a win for me, I think. There is
Which of us really dies better? Yeah. I think it's you.
Yeah, it's me. I'm happy about it. I'm not happy about it because part of me knows that this podcast is happening. That's pain. Anyway, let's get into this first Reddit on Reddit. It's by Demi Fiend RSA. Bruce Willis stepping away from acting following aphasia diagnosis.
Yes, again, news that is now a week or two old at this point. Mm-hmm. But this has been something that has been rumored for a little while. No pun intended.
Yeah.
His daughter's name's Rumor.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm not sure if I like that or hate it.
I think most celebrities have dumb kid names, don't they?
Yeah, I know. But that's what I mean. Like Michael Jackson, blanket, terrible.
Terrible.
But Rumor, I kind of like the word.
Right, okay. But you just
But
know
also
it's a name.
it is a word.
Rumor Willis sounds better for some reason. And I don't exactly know why.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't, but it does.
I'm okay with it. I've decided.
But this is one of those things that
I'm going to call my kids Suspicion.
Suspicion
Rumor
Allingham.
and Suspicion.
Suspicion Allingham. It's
yeah,
a good name.
It's pretty good. Anyway, sorry.
Well, first of all, sad news. This is a type of dementia, I believe.
Right.
Which means he's been having trouble remembering lines. Obviously, as an actor, pretty big deal. Jack Nicholson has also been rumored a similar thing, which is why he's kind of disappeared in the last 10 years or so.
Right.
For similar things, which can't remember, can't comprehend all this kind of stuff.
Oh my God. I might have aphasia, Canberra.
Possibly.
I'm so bad at remembering.
That doesn't get you out of this
things.
podcast.
Oh, damn it.
Because you've been doing it for years like this.
Yeah. I started with the aphasia.
But this is one of those things where it went from people kind of laughing at Bruce Willis for something to now feeling really bad for Bruce Willis about something.
Yeah.
Which is in the last, I'm going to say 5 years. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, this has been a rumor in the movie world for a little while.
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And for the last 5 years, I'm going to say, Bruce Willis has been making bizarre, really low budget, direct to streaming movies, and like a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah. So if you look at his
so
like
weird.
IMDb profile,
Yeah.
let's count how many films in the last, let's say, 3 years Bruce Willis has made, and how many of them you've even heard of. All right?
Okay.
All right. Let's go into his filmography now.
Okay.
Okay. So he's now got 144 credits to his name, which is pretty big.
Okay. I thought he had like 20 at max.
No. Okay. Let's start from 2020. So last 2 years.
Okay.
Survive the Night.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Kill.
Mm-hmm.
Breach.
Okay.
Cosmic Sin. Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Huh?
Out of Death. Killing Field. Apex. Deadlock. Fortress. American Siege.
Whoa.
Gasoline Alley. And A Day to Die. I think that's about 16 movies in the last 2 years.
Whoa.
They're all this kind of generic looking straight to streaming thing. And
That
they all got
is
terrible scores.
incredible.
Like just absolute terrible scores.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about those films, right?
Okay. Yeah.
First of all, they are all produced by the same person,
Okay.
which is a guy that owns a studio similar, I guess, to The Asylum, where there's a formula, right?
Yeah.
In which they get a big star, normally Bruce Willis, but there are a couple other actors that have done it.
Yeah.
They pay them big to get them. So
Yep.
the rumors with these films are Bruce Willis shoots for about 2 to 3 days on them.
Yeah.
He gets paid $1 million
Yeah.
and he's done. And
Yeah.
they shoot him out. Like they just shoot all his bits and they get him out, and then everyone else finishes the film.
Yeah.
And non-union. No union people, that's paid
okay.
dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And this whole studio is all run by the guy that Turtle is based on from Entourage.
Oh, really? Wow. I didn't know that was like, yeah, that's
People
interesting.
that don't know, Entourage is loosely based on Mark Wahlberg's life.
Yeah.
And he had this entourage of friends. And I believe the guy that Turtle was based on was called like Donkey or something, or Badger or something like that.
Right.
That guy is producing all of these movies through these weird non-union crews.
Yeah.
They shoot them real quick. A lot of them are all written by like the same people and whatever.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis has been doing a ton of them.
Wow.
And now it seems to be that Bruce Willis knew that he was going to start forgetting.
Yeah.
And he's making as much money
Yeah.
as he can in the last couple of years of his career. So now
Mucho
people were
respect.
laughing at him for a couple of years. We're like, what is he doing? What are these?
Yeah.
What's Cosmic Sin?
Yeah.
What is this movie I've never heard of? And now everyone has universally gone, oh.
Yeah. And been like, oh, this is kind of like okay now, because
respect it. Yeah, make all your money.
Yeah, before that you're like, this is kind of a pathetic cash grab, and like you'd think that somebody like that would have higher morals for themselves.
There was even a point where Bruce Willis just licensed his likeness to it was like a Russian mobile phone provider company. And then with that, they just got a body double and deep faked him into an ad.
Yeah, right.
So it just looks like Bruce Willis is in that. He never went there. He never filmed. He just sold his likeness to them.
Wow.
And now you're like, yeah, he probably got a bunch of money for that.
Oh my God.
Didn't have to do shit.
That's amazing. I wish I could sell my likeness. You literally do no work. That is the peak of not doing work.
Yes.
That's amazing. Really, so interesting.
There's even parts in these really low budget films. There's a YouTube channel called Red Letter Media that covered a bunch of them. This is where I found out a lot of this information.
Right.
And they point out that these films are so low budget. At points, you can see him wearing what's called a wig, which is an earwig, which is like an earpiece, which means someone is feeding him his lines.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So this has been on the horizon.
Much harder to do on a Hollywood, multi-billion dollar.
If they did, they'd probably just CGI it out,
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like a very hard thing to fix.
Yeah.
Above our pay grade, perhaps, but not like, they make Spider-Man swing. It seems easier than that.
yeah, that's
but
true.
when you've
they
spent all your
tried to
money...
remove a mustache off.
That's true.
What's his name? Henry Cavill in Superman, and that didn't go very well.
Which,
they should have get the Spider-Man guys onto it.
I know. So the last couple of years of Bruce Willis, I think for a lot of people, have all clicked into place.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that were making fun of him have now been like, oh, that's actually very sad.
Yeah. It's a real shame because it really seems like, there's probably plenty of actors that do it all the time. Each year, there's probably another A-list at one point actor that you will just forget about.
Yeah.
And it seems such a shame rather than being somebody that's like, I don't know. Somebody that like grows old as an actor with their craft, and then they eventually kind of retire, and it's not long after that they might like pass away, kind of thing. I feel like that's like
I would say that's probably going to be true of Robert De Niro.
Oh yes,
got famous in his 20s. He's still very, very famous now.
Yeah,
he's a big thing if he's in a movie.
Yeah.
He's going to retire and die. Like he doesn't seem like he's stopping.
That's such a great one. Yeah, as an example. And so I think that would be, and so it's just a shame that it's like, well, he's got to cut it so short. It just feels like there's so many years we're going to miss of kind of Bruce Willis being a potential great, actor in a certain role, certain movie that he could fill. I genuinely love, I think, like most of his films, even the ones that like probably aren't that good.
Check out Cosmic Sin,
Nelson. I think, you know what? Maybe I'll love these
You've got about 17 films to check out.
Yeah. I would love to try and work with this company as a extra or writer or something, because surely you don't have to have the best credentials.
Yeah, and it's good because you're not in it for the money, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon that's probably pretty good.
Nobody should be for the money.
Except obviously Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Who is exclusively in it for the money.
Yeah. Do you reckon he did a deal that's like, I'll do, 20 movies or whatever it is for like X price rather than normally you negotiate each film or something,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. It's probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's my dream job. No, my dream job is to sell my likeness. Yes. So that's my dream job. Yeah. Second dream job. Yeah. Work on...
Should we see if you and I, who are not screenwriters, can get a script made with this company? We'll just send it to them.
That would... Do you know what? We honestly probably could.
Okay.
That's actually really tempting.
Okay.
Should we get our listeners to help us?
Yeah, I was thinking over the course of this podcast, they're normally like generic, gritty crime style films, sometimes with a sci-fi twist, but not always.
Yeah, okay.
Based on the ones from Bruce Willis I know of.
Right.
So as a group, listeners, obviously for credit reasons with the Writing Guild, it would have to just be Nelson and I's name on the script. But
just for like legal reasons. Yeah.
Let's come up with a screenplay idea. Yeah. Nelson and I will complete the screenplay and send it to the production company.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I also say that we must at one point use the likeness of Bruce Willis. Okay. Not him. But
what I'm thinking to help, because obviously this company has a formula, is obviously it won't be Bruce because he's retiring now, but have a character and then just in brackets insert big Hollywood washed up actor here. Because that's their thing, is they get one to sell the movie. So who knows who it will end up being.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, oh, good. They've signified which one this will be. Oh, yeah. They've got about 3 days worth of filming in it. Yeah, great.
You know what? Will Smith. Okay. This is what we should do then. After this episode,
Yep.
crap, this airs at a different time. Okay. You will have to do this because I
Okay.
won't be available. When this airs, create a poll
Yep.
for like the genre first.
Okay. Yep.
And then we'll build over that over a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What some basic storyline plot lines
Yep.
that people can vote on, and then I think we'll try and write that.
Yep. I'm thinking as well, you obviously have to have a good title. It needs to be something that sounds generic yet kind of a pun.
Yes.
So I'm thinking
We should start with the
Well,
name.
yeah.
Screw the genre. That's poll 2.
in my mind, it immediately went to Dangerous Habits.
Oh!
Don't know exactly what that means yet. Is it to do with nuns? They wear habits.
That is weirdly a really strong contender straight off the bat. Like, we might not be able to top that. But let's think of a couple of generic things. We'll put them on a poll.
I'll also go with Dying Light.
Oh.
You know, at the end of the day, it's called Dying Light.
Okay, that is a game
okay.
that's come out and also recently very popular. Number 2 came out actually.
Oh, really?
And quite popular.
Dying
So,
Light too.
Yeah.
And they won't give us the
Zombie
rights to that?
Probably not.
Okay.
What
What
if
about-
we spell it differently though? Because theirs is DY. We spell it DIE.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dying Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got other ones. Left 4 Dead. Is that a video game?
Oh,
What
sorry.
about Call of Duty Zombies?
Yeah. Okay. This is good. This is. I'm liking this. We'll put a poll out.
I also just like the title Violent Street. I don't know what Violent Street is,
Oh.
but maybe this is what I'm thinking about Violent Street.
Yeah.
Is it's based around a small street full of bars and bikers and stuff hang out there, but it's nicknamed Violent Street. It's actually Violet Street,
Oh.
but but the locals call it Violent Street.
Cambo, stop writing this.
Who's the
We're
bar
doing
owner?
it. We're doing it by poll.
Who's the bar owner? Probably some washed up Hollywooder. Yeah.
Oh, I think so. Or the likeness of Bruce Willis.
Okay. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll start a poll. We'll come back. We will come back to this.
Yeah.
This won't be one of the things we forget.
Okay, let's move on. We need to move on. Okay, how about this though?
Okay.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows is a Tim Burton film, isn't it? Is that the Johnny Depp movie?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I went for stupid, like something that's so stupid.
It's about a vampire.
Dark Shadows. Yeah, it's a film.
Yeah.
I really thought that was like such nonsense. Light Shadows.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Can't believe that was a film. Let's get to Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by... Oh, I'm in the wrong section. Sorry. Is by... I'm a Whittle... Dibble.
Yeah, but who's it from, Nelson?
Got me. I actually think I just made that up. I thought it was Whittle, but it's not. I think it's I'm a wild edible. Yep, that's what it is. That's funny. Anyway, what is some poor people food that you will eat no matter how wealthy you get?
So many. I love poor people food.
Okay, yeah,
Because-
yeah.
Spoilers. I'm one of those poor people. But as I've got older, and I would say that my palate has refined, and I earn more now than I probably thought
Yeah.
I would when I was like 19.
Yeah.
So like a very fine
We're
salary.
middle class.
Yeah. Great signifier. Yes.
Yeah.
Which means we can have some fancy, but you got to mix it with the poor.
Yeah. Not all the time. Oh God, no.
But sometimes you will treat yourself to a fancy version of something. And so often I find that I prefer it so much less.
Yeah. Okay.
We talked, I think, last episode, maybe the episode before, about pies.
Yeah.
The fancier the pie, the less I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So
You like a dirt cheap party pie, Cambo.
Give me a service station pie.
Yeah.
So
One that's been dropped on the floor, half price.
half price.
Oh, get that one, 70 cents. Bargain.
So I think that I remember there was a period where I was eating particularly well, more like healthy than fancy.
Yeah.
But like a lot of like fish and beans and steamed vegetables and lean meats and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
And there was one night that we were a bit tired and we just went to the supermarket and brought a pack of migarine or migorine. I've never learned how to properly pronounce it. Migarine or migoring. I'm not sure.
Migoring, I think. I don't know.
Anyway, they're like 50 cents a pack.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So good.
They're really delicious.
They're really delicious.
They are
so
so
full
delicious.
of like MSG and salts and all kinds. But I think that there'll never be a time in my life that I won't be like, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually a really great one. That I was actually struggling to come up with things, and I'll tell you why soon.
Because you've lost touch.
I've totally lost the touch.
Is that a gold ring you're wearing, Nelson? All right.
Yeah, I'm saving for a snack for later. I have in my cupboard miggering like probably about 15 packets of it or something.
Great.
But I actually very rarely, I've had those packets in there for ages. I very rarely have them. And the reason why I don't is because I had one of my friends, or it was actually my brother's friend. He was living with him at the time. And he was sort of, this was the first place that he had moved out of from home. And he did not know how to cook for himself. Like his mum was... just looked after. I think they were from Iraq or something, and so it was just like a very ingrained like mum cooks for their sons, and that's it, and they don't need to worry about anything. And then he moved out, and he just had no idea how to cook anything, but he knew how to cook miggering noodles, and so he had that a lot. And he went to the doctor one day because he wasn't feeling very well, and the doctor said, "I'm surprised you haven't had a heart attack yet." This guy probably would have been early 20s at the time.
Jesus.
He was like, your blood is sludge-like.
Oh, God.
He said, your cholesterol is so ridiculously high. It's so unhealthy for you.
Wow.
He's like, you need to right now, like today, start exercising. And he wasn't, he was like a little bit chubby, a little bit fatter or something, but you wouldn't be like, oh, that's an obese dude, you know? And so it's probably like he wasn't it's not like he was eating in excess of bad food. He was just eating really bad food often.
Yeah. There's also people that can be skinny fat as well, which are, even if they don't gain weight, like their insides are fat. Yeah. You know, like the inside of a person that would be obese.
Yeah, right. And so anyway, the doctor was like, you've got to exercise and you've got to eat healthy. Like eat vegetables. Don't, like you got to get off the miggering. And so since then, I've just always had that in the back of my mind. And even though I know he ate it to excess and I would probably never get to that point, I just know that
it's been marred for you.
Yeah. It's like, so I will still have it every now and again because it's so yum. But then afterwards, I'll be like, oh my God, I got to run a mile. But yeah, see, again, but so my kind of issue with this was, I don't really know necessarily what wealthy people eat that's different. Like, I'm betting you a lot of wealthy people have bacon and eggs in the morning, and like that's a relatively
it
cheap
says poor person food.
Yeah,
and I kind of take that to mean something that is. Migarine, as an example, is always cheap to buy. So if you're strapped for cash, like a student or something like that, you probably load up on it.
Yeah.
And it's seen as something you do when you don't have any money. Mac and cheese is probably another one. Ramen, things like this.
See, migarine, I thought that was actually a perfect example because to me, I don't know why I didn't even think about noodles, but I was like, I think there's still like cheap things ish that like wealthy people and poor people would probably have because there's not that much difference between.
Coca-Cola is an expensive thing, but a rich person's going to drink Coca-Cola and so is a poor person.
Yeah, that's right. So because for me, I was like, oh, maybe my cheap thing is like oats.
Yep.
But I'm like, oats are synonymous with healthy.
Yeah.
And often wealthy people will actually be a little bit more healthy, and so they'll probably eat oats as well. And it's like it's cheap and, you know, not that flavorful or stuff. But I was like, I don't know. I don't know what mine.
Okay, what food do you think is better when it's not done up to be trying to be like a fancy version?
Yeah,
so, I know I talked about pies before.
Yeah.
So my example of this is actually hot dogs.
Love
hot dog with a crappy white bread.
Yeah.
Like the weird red hot dogs boiled.
Yeah.
If someone, we used to work at a place that tried to sell fancy hot dogs. So it was like a toasted bun.
Yeah.
It's a Kransky style hot dog.
Yeah.
Had a mixture of sauces on top. Didn't like it.
That's
Give
a good
me
point.
a shitty hot dog.
Do you know what the problem I think with that one was? See, I actually quite love, I think it's like a cheese Kransky or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just Kransky. But like cheese Kransky, love it. That's
Great.
a really done up hot dog.
Yeah.
They ruined it with the fancy bun.
Yeah.
To
and
me,
it was like a stiff bun.
I want one of those squishy buns that like...
a bun that's been sitting in a warmer for like a couple of hours.
Yeah. You're like, this is between matters. It's somehow not a solid liquid or a gas, and yet all three at once. That's the type of bun that I want on my hot dog.
Yeah, yeah. Even if you had to have the thicker Kransky in a shittier bun, it would have improved the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love, hot dogs when they're shittier.
Yeah, yeah. Weirdly enough, actually, I experienced this the other day. Mine for this is probably, it already sounds probably a little bit fancy, but it's sushi.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think just give me a, like, it sounds weird, but like, if it's just a salmon sushi, I feel like that's a pretty standard kind of one.
Yeah.
But then the fancy ones will have like, there's this, they'll put like mayonnaise kind of lines on it.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll put a little bit of, like fish eggs, what do you call that stuff? Caviar. Although I think it's normally fake shit when, you know, I see it. And like, those things are fine. Like, I still eat it because I just, eat everything. But to me, it makes it worse. Like, I just want the plain sushi roll. That's it. You don't need to jazz it up for me. I get it. It's fish and rice, like it's, that's all I need.
I tell you what, I can only talk of middle-class Australian people. But this is a drink I think that middle-class people have convinced themselves is fancy, but is actually a poor person drink.
Oh.
And that's the espresso martini.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see any actual fancy people drinking espresso martinis. But if you're at somewhere and you get an espresso martini, all of your other middle-class friends are like, oh my God, espresso martini.
Jump on that one.
Yeah.
You know what I realized? Espresso martinis are the devil because... Everybody thinks it's such a great idea. It tastes great.
It does taste great.
But then you're all hyped up on the caffeine. God forbid you have more than one in a night.
And you do generally.
Normally, because people are like, oh, that was so yum, I'll have another one. And then like that's all you're drinking all night. And little do you know you've had like 6 shots of coffee in the space of like, a few hours. You're not getting to sleep that night.
And
it's the worst.
If say you're at a wedding or something and espresso martinis are on the bill.
Yeah.
They rival only COVID with how quickly they'll spread. If someone comes back with an espresso martini, turn around 5 minutes later and 8 other people also have espresso martinis.
Yeah. It's how they get you. I know. I thought it was really funny because to me there was like a point in time where the espresso martinis like became a thing.
Yeah.
They'd always existed, but then for some reason the world was like, oh, now now let's buy them.
Yeah, it was a hot minute where they're like this and Angus beef.
Yeah,
they're the two things we're all about now.
So good. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that McDonald's started doing Angus beef because it knocked it down a peg.
It did knock it down a peg.
If McDonald's is doing it, it's not that fancy.
And there was a hot minute where everything was salted caramel as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That one can stay. That was all right.
Yeah, that was all right.
And then and it was funny because every bar would have to do espresso martinis, but it took so long to make them. That they ended up, companies were coming out with like pre-made, pre-mixed ones. And then like, that's what you would get. And so then you'd go to a bar and you get a pre-mixed one and you're like, oh, this is gross because it's not a freshly made one. And then I think that sort of made the espresso martini, drop down a few pegs again because you're like, I could order it here, but who knows if they're going to make it for me.
Oh yeah, I would say if you're at an event and they're offering espresso martinis, they're not making them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If you're at anywhere where they're serving them en masse, they're not making them.
You need to go to a fancy cocktail bar. That's where you'll get it. Luckily, there's a lot in Melbourne.
There is actually quite a few in Melbourne, isn't there?
Yeah. Here's another campaign. Yeah,
go on.
This is by a ferret sippin' Chianti. Your last sent text message is the title of the next porn you watch.
Oh, okay.
What you watching?
Wow, let's have a look. So the last one I sent.
You sent.
Okay. Because I think the last one I received was like an automated message.
Yeah.
Which probably wouldn't be that good. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got it here.
Okay.
I sent this message to Stacey. The title of my porno is, We're on Level 2.
I don't know why, but I kind of like that. That is, okay, this is the porno.
Yep.
Somebody goes in for a one-night stand up to level 1. Has lots of sex with lots of people or something. And then they get a text message in saying, where are you? We're on level 2.
So it's a porno with a twist ending.
With a twist ending.
Not enough pornos have twist endings.
They should get M. Night Shyamalan to start directing some pornos, I think. People would get on board for that. Yeah. For sure. And then people would be confused the whole time because they're like, isn't this porno called I'm on level 2? And didn't she say specifically she was on level 1? Yeah. And they keep reiterating that she's on level 1.
She keeps groaning it.
My last message was, I knew they'd love them.
Now that sounds like quite a sweet porno.
Yeah.
Now sometimes you get like porno that is hardcore and then porno that is softer core and maybe more romantic.
Got a lot of story in it.
This sounds more like a romantic porno.
Yeah. Ooh, could it be creepy though?
Well, if it was called I Knew That Bitch Would Love It, suddenly it changes tact.
Yeah. But I'm thinking,
okay,
if the line was, I knew they'd love them. So that's creepier.
Yeah. That is creepier, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
To interrupt you. I've just realized the message before that I sent Ellen was, no shit, I'm getting my package today. That seems pretty relevant. I mean, that's self-explanatory.
Okay, what is the last message you received from a contact? It needs, because you don't want any automated.
Okay. Well, Ellen sent me, it arrived.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Stacey's last message to me says, it's like she never left. So I don't quite know what that porno is.
Yeah, that's a weird. I reckon that porno's got a twist in it as well.
Yeah. It's another Shyamalan.
Yeah, you keep having. This is what it is. You have sex with this person.
Yeah.
She says, "I'm gonna leave." You say, "Okay, I'm gonna take a shower." She hides in the cupboard, and then while you're asleep, has sex with you. Then hides in the cupboard again.
Yep.
And then in the morning, you say to your friend, "Had the best sex yesterday." It was like she never left. Plot twist.
Can I pitch you a smutty version of this?
Yes.
It's a bunch of small vignettes, and they're all the same.
Yeah.
In which a man and his wife are arguing.
Yeah.
She storms out.
Oh no.
He goes out in the town.
Yeah.
Finds a woman that looks exactly like his wife.
Oh yeah.
Has sex with the woman.
Yeah.
At the end of the scene, he goes, "It's like she never left."
Yeah. Yes,
and that happens over and over again for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did I mention the likeness of Bruce Willis is in it?
Oh, now I'm interested.
Oh my God, is that our movie? Yeah. It's like she never left.
The last one I sent Stacey was, nah, she's too cool for me.
Oh, okay. Kind of nerd hot girl style.
Yeah,
porno.
yeah. I was going to say, this sounds like some, super nerdy guy that's like, has friends trying to get him to hook up with these super hot girls. And he's like, nah, she's too cool for me. and he ends up hooking up with another nerdy girl.
Yeah, that's good.
So it happens. It's good. It turns out it's really easy to write a porno.
Based text messages.
Text messages, yeah. Okay. Let's get into Today I Advice. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned, yes, is by Ms. Huri. Today I learned in 1976, 3 men kidnapped a school bus with 26 children aboard. They then buried them alive inside a box truck to try and get a $5 million ransom. Okay.
Oh, okay. You've brought the show down, Nelson, with your smut.
I found this so interesting. This is probably unlike anything that I've brought up on the show before.
Yeah.
I just want to read you
Normally,
this.
like, we're happy, go lucky.
Yeah. I just want to read you this story.
Please.
I found it really interesting.
Sure.
So this is Kidnapping. At around 4 p.m. on Thursday, July 15th, 1976, quite a bit older, school bus driver Frank Edward was driving 26 pupils. Sorry, I was trying to skip ahead and totally lost my place of where I was. Anyway, they were going.
That's all in the article.
That's all in the article. They were going to the swimming pool when a van blocked the road ahead of the bus. Ray stopped the bus and was confronted by 3 armed men with nylon stockings covering their face. One man held a gun to Ray while another drove the bus. The third man followed in the van. The kidnappers hid the bus in a place where a second van had been parked. Both vans' back windows were painted black. Their interiors were reinforced with paneling. Ray and the children were forced into the vans at gunpoint and then driven for 11 hours before being taken to a quarry in Livermore. There, in the early morning of July 16, the kidnappers forced the victims to climb down a ladder into a buried moving truck that they had stocked with a small amount of food and water and some mattresses. Ray and the older children later stacked the mattresses so that some of them could reach the opening at the top of the truck, which had been covered with a heavy sheet of metal and weighed down with 2 100-pound, or in brackets, 45-kilogram, industrial batteries. After hours of effort, Ray and the oldest boy, 14-year-old Michael Marshall, wedged the lid open with a piece of wood and moved the batteries. They then dug away the remainder of the debris blocking the entrance. 16 hours after they had entered the truck, the group emerged and walked to the quarry's guard shack. And that's basically it. That's how the kidnapping went.
Wow.
And it kind of goes on to say that the quarry owner's son was a suspect and ended up being found guilty because he had like the means to do all this. And they ended up pleading guilty. And they tried not to plead guilty, like inflicting bodily harm or something like that, because that was life in prison. But they all got life in prison anyway, I think. But then this part of it, I think, is really kind of sad too, unfortunately, which is the aftermath. Frank Edward, Ed Ray, received the bus driver received a California School Employees Association citation for outstanding community service. I mean, you'd want more than that. But anyway, before he died in 2012, he was visited by many of the school children he had helped save. In 2015, the Sports and Leisure Park in Chowchilla was renamed Edward Ray Park, blah, blah, blah. A study found that the kidnapped children suffered from panic attacks, nightmares involving kidnappings and death, and personality changes. Many developed fears of such things as cars, the dark, the wind, the kitchen, mice, dogs, and hippies. And one shot a Japanese tourist with a BB gun when the tourist's car broke down in front of his home.
Oh, no, yeah.
Many of the children continued to report symptoms of trauma at least 25 years after the kidnapping, including substance abuse and depression, and a number have been imprisoned for doing something controlling to somebody else. What was learned from the after effects suffered by the kidnapped children has guided the treatment of young victims of trauma since the kidnapping. At least that's something. In the very last sentence here, in 2016, the 25 surviving kidnapped children settled a lawsuit they had filed against their kidnappers. The money they received, by the way, this happened in 1976, right? Is that what I said?
Yep.
Let me scroll up. And in 2016 is when the lawsuit was finalized. What a bullshit system this is. Anyway, the money they received was paid out of Frederick Wood's trust fund. That was one of the perpetrators. And although the exact settlement amount was not disclosed, one survivor stated they had each received enough to pay for some serious therapy, but not enough for a house. Yeah. So
crazy.
Nuts and crazy
What a
and
crazy
terrible.
story.
And just so interesting.
Yeah, there's so many weird and fascinating facets to that story.
One actually extra part of this too is that, so the three guys, I think, were from wealthier families that had wealthy backgrounds.
Trust funds generally don't. Yeah. I'm not going to get a trust fund.
Yeah, that's right. We could kidnap a bunch of kids, and get somebody else's
and
trust
now
fund.
I have a list of things to make sure we improve.
Yeah, exactly. No mattresses.
Yeah, and more weight.
And more weight, yeah. Put a couple extra batteries on top of that bad boy. But apparently it was just that these guys, even though they had a wealthy background, they had got themselves into so much debt.
Wow.
That they needed this money, and they decided children would be best to kidnap because they're more precious. The state would pay for them, kind of straight up. And another bit of interesting information is they couldn't even call in their ransom demand because so many people were flooding the police office with calls of their missing children and reporters wanting to know what was going on. And so they didn't even get to call in the ransom before they found out. I think they went to sleep and woke up and found out on the news that the people had gotten out of their trap.
Jesus. Not good kidnappers. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I don't care whose feelings I hurt.
Yeah.
They're not good kidnappers.
It's tough words from you, Cambo.
Yeah.
But
they need to hear it.
They do.
From their prison cell.
Yeah. If they're listening.
It's been more than 25 years now, so presumably they're out.
Yes.
I believe life in America is 25 years.
Not actually life or something. Actually, there was even somebody else, I think, they were going for parole, actually, and in 2024 was their next hearing.
Oh, okay. So they are still
actually, here's something here. One of them paroled in 2015, age 63. Another person, 2012, age 57. Age 22 during the kidnapping for the second guy, and 24 for the...
What a waste of a life.
Oh, such a waste.
They wouldn't have even seen any Star Wars. Star Wars came out in 77.
Oh, not one of them.
They would have come out and be like, I guess I'll check out The Last Jedi. And everyone's like, that's not the one to start with.
Oh, no, you idiot. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting to think that if you went to prison so long, just how much you would miss for your entire life. I'm actually glad you brought up the Star Wars thing because it's such a relevant piece of media, isn't it?
Because it seemed like it's always been around, especially for people like our age.
Yeah.
But they would have missed all of it.
Yeah, that was a good...
Or even if they had gone in 77, they would have come out and be like, remember Star Wars? Everyone's like, yeah, it's still huge.
Yeah. I don't have much more to say about that. Just thought that was really interesting.
It is really. I am glad, even though it was a bit more of a sad one, I'm glad you brought it up.
You know what? Every now and again, I think I'm just going to do that.
Okay.
If it's interesting enough. Save us a bit of time, Just read a Wikipedia article.
Just check with the listeners. Are you okay with every now and then if we're interesting?
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
I didn't hear a no, so.
Yeah. All right. Let's move into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Chaos Knight, For most men, getting their penis or foreskin caught in their trousers zipper will probably only happen once in their entire lifetime.
I mean, not if you're careful.
Has this ever happened to you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think this has ever happened to me.
The only time I've seen it is in the film There's Something About Mary, which is more, I guess, kind of like his ball sack anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
But,
right.
I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but this is how I do it.
Yeah.
I normally wear pants and then underwear.
Yeah.
And then behind underwear, that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
When I go to the bathroom, I'll put it away, underwear up,
Yeah.
zip up pants.
Yeah.
And this is a fascinating thing. The
Yeah.
underwear actually serves as a protective layer.
Yeah. It doesn't let it flop out there. at
That
all.
being said, I've never even caught my underwear in my flight.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It's
Because
not like-
as you zip, you kind of zip outward. I at least I feel like you pull the zip kind of up and out a bit because
Yeah.
that gives it friction
yeah,
to zip
yeah.
up. You don't zip inward, do you?
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's-
could, but I wouldn't.
You could,
do you zip
but
inward?
I don't think so.
I zip
feel
out
like
and up.
on TV, the demonstration is actually almost pelvis back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they'll kind of go
Yeah.
up and out, which, yeah. And so I just think this is not actually that common at all. Like, I think very few men have got their penis or foreskin caught
Yeah.
in their trousers. And that's just, like, I know that area is sensitive for just like a myriad of other reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah. But anyway, that was my point on that one. This next one is by Fuzzy Cuffs. The first porn shot in the first porn shot in space will make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I read past this one first. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh yeah. And I thought about it for a second. And I was like, yeah, that would make so much money.
Well,
I think it would be one of those. I think it'd be one of those things that like literally everyone just knows about.
here's my question. In 2022, how does porn make money? Because to the best of my knowledge,
Yeah.
it's all free online.
Yeah.
But they're still making it in large quantities.
Yeah.
But how does it make money?
I mean, it's like, I think last episode we were talking about whales.
Yeah,
it's
it must
it's
be.
the same in this.
It must be.
Whales exist in literally every industry.
Because
and in
zero G porn.
yeah,
But
but like
I think I'd be too accustomed to free porn that paying for it would feel weird.
I'm not saying that you would pay for this
Yeah.
necessarily. I just mean that, like, if I think, well, yeah, I mean, there would be money made in some degree because it could just be advertising on top of the free whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
that's how like Pornhub and all
I
that
guess
stuff.
so, yeah,
that's
yeah,
how they
yeah.
make their money. So, I just think that literally everyone of all ages
Would have to check it out.
you would be like, this is the first time ever. Because there would be a thing, because it would have to be like Elon's spaceship or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the blue, what's the
Yeah.
Origin or something?
Yeah, Virgin's one.
No, the Amazon one.
Oh, yeah, that's actually what
It looks like a huge dick anyway.
Yeah.
So film it on that one, obviously,
something.
because then you've already got a
blue.
joke about
yeah.
a big dick.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you would make money back from the flight plus extra.
Yeah.
And you could
Here's-
go up there to like, I don't know,
Here's
study
my thing.
stars and shit.
I don't want to seem too much of a contrarian. I think zero G sex no good.
I don't
Because
think it'd be good either.
Sex relies on friction.
Yeah.
And zero G, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to really get good friction.
Yeah, but you want to see that, don't you, Camber?
You do wanna
That's
see
the
it.
point. I'm not saying it's going to be good or anything.
Yeah.
I'm saying I want to see it.
I am interested.
I want a shot
Uh-huh.
where there's two people doing it and out the window is space.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
or
yeah.
Earth.
I
Like,
reckon I could find that for you, but it's not real.
No, I want it to be real. It needs to be real.
So I am interested in the new positions that no gravity would make possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can't even fathom them in my head.
Yeah.
It'd probably need to be one of the situations where you need to be there doing it and go, oh, you know what we could do?
Yeah. I think it would need multiple people.
Mm-hmm. You think it's Space Orgy?
Space Orgy.
Yeah.
May as well.
Yeah.
Film a few pornos while you're up there. Okay. Oh, this is next level one. it's space porno.
Yep.
But it starts with a knock at the door. Who's there? Pizza Man.
Space pizza man.
It's Pizza Man.
It's got a bit of extra space sausage.
Yeah. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I'd pay money for that cat. No, I wouldn't.
Next scene, space sink is broken.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be funny if it wasn't the space thing, but it was something really actually important to a spaceship. A detailed explanation of
Yeah. And then they need to actually send like a fully qualified mission ready astronaut up to help fix it.
Yeah.
And there's a montage of like 6 months while they wait around while this person gets ready to come up.
Yeah. And then they have sex.
Yeah, obviously. Then they bang. Yeah. Then obviously he completes that important work and goes back down.
Yeah. Obviously, it's an important job.
Where it's a realistic porno we're shooting.
Surely there's somebody that's done that, where they've done pornos with the premise of being real sexy, but they've just done the task.
Realism involved.
And then that's it. And
I think that's just French cinema.
Yeah, I think it is too. Okay, anyway, here's another one. We'll do one more. It's by Ananin Ami Finner. I don't know. I feel like I just summoned a demon. If the penis was a muscle and there was a safe and efficient way to increase its size, 99% of men would have a gym membership.
Also, all men would go past the point of any woman wanting it that size.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be a subsection of guys that like just get really big
and you're like, that's unusable.
You can't. Has no practical application anymore. I think what would happen is 99% of men would have small penises.
Yeah.
I think if you like polled men, most men would be like, yeah, I wish I was like more fit, I had some muscles and stuff. Not a crazy workout super muscly dude, but like in general, people want to be in more shape and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
So like, I think that the world would just have men would just have smaller penises in general, and that'd be it.
Or just the penises they have now, but I guess. Juxtaposed to the muscly people, who, if rumors are to be believed by steroids, are the ones with the smaller penises.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. Now, we teased a little bit of this at the start. First off, I guess I got it from Taskmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an unusual one to be able to do on this show.
Yes.
But it was perfect. It's all sound related.
Yeah, great.
So, the task was Alex had to bang two inanimate objects together.
For those unaware of it, a British game show.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. If you don't know about it, there'll be an American one in no time.
There was an American one.
Okay.
It was cancelled very quickly.
Right.
Because like all American remakes, they did not get it.
Yeah.
The first thing they did is cut the time down significantly, which actually made it super frantic and uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
So Taskmaster normally runs an hour, but like 45 minutes when you watch it without ads.
Yeah.
And the American one was half an hour, so 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But still the same amount of tasks, but just super edited, super frantically.
Yeah, that would just...
it's too
anyway. Why is it that... I don't even think it's that... because Australia does a poor job of adapting them as well.
Mm-hmm.
The UK just seemed to be like, oh, we're just going to do a good panel show, and then they just do it.
New Zealand's apparently very good.
Oh, yes, I have heard that. Actually, if you are a regular listener of the show and dedicated, I did a Twitch stream with the Alex version, the host of Taskmaster New Zealand.
Yeah.
William something. William.
Yes.
I remember he was a great guy.
If you are also a longtime fan of this show and like, I love Taskmaster, Also, I love the guests that you have on from Escape This Podcast.
Yeah.
So many Taskmaster contestants, including Alex Horn, the creator and host of Taskmaster,
Yes.
have been on Escape This Podcast.
Being on Escape This Podcast. It's a much better podcast than ours.
It's so much time and just talent and
What are you doing here?
What's this shit we're doing?
Yeah. Anyway, so Alex, or in this case, I will be banging two inanimate objects together.
Yes.
While you're blindfolded.
Okay.
And you have to tell me which two items they are.
Okay.
I might, some rounds, reuse an item. So don't think you're safe if I've already used it.
Yeah.
Here are the items that I've brought along. So you know what they are ahead of time.
Yep.
Which can give you a bit of a clue. Okay. The saxophone I've bought. Not playing the saxophone. I will be hitting that against something.
Yeah. So in a way, you're using it as a percussion instrument.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. A bottle of wine.
Okay.
Bottle of red wine.
Yep.
I bet you're hoping that doesn't spill like crash open and spill everywhere.
Renting this place, it's got carpet.
So am I. I'm hoping that won't happen.
Okay.
We'll find out. A Tupperware container.
Yep.
A helmet.
Yep.
A plastic spiky ball.
Yep. What are those balls for? Are they like for
For muscles stuff.
Yeah.
I go on off my physiotherapist. Put it in your back and you kind of roll around a bit. It's good for joints and stuff. Anyway, a crystal bowl.
Hoping that doesn't smash either.
That crystal's actually pretty sturdy.
Okay.
Tongs.
Yep.
Metal tongs.
Yep.
And a pillow.
Gotcha.
I'll give you a little bit of hint. The pillow is like a bit more plasticky.
Okay.
It's not as perhaps dull as a regular pillow,
Yep.
maybe. So
Blindfold
please
on.
put on the blindfold.
Now, hang on. I'm going to have to remove my headphones just briefly to do this.
Okay.
I will also say I run pretty close to the microphone when I talk. So I'm going to apologize to listeners in advance if I hit the microphone at any point because I can no longer see where it is in front of me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I hate this.
Okay. Yeah, this
Okay.
is good. I like that you're blind now. Okay, let me get. Hold on. I would need to get the items close to me. I should have done this.
Is it
already.
weird that it's more comfortable to have my eyes closed under the blindfold?
No, I think that's normal
Is
because
it?
it's like it's annoying to have your eyes kind of open when you got the blindfold. I get it.
But it just feels more natural to see nothing with my eyes closed.
Oh, I forgot one thing else. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's also a magazine.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing special about that. Wait. Did I say thong?
No, I don't think you did.
Oh my god. Okay,
a
two
flip
extra
flop.
things. A flip flop.
I'm experiencing this show for the first time, Nelson, as the listeners do, audio only. It's quite the experience.
Oh, is it better?
Well. No?
That's weird. I would have thought that would be
Well,
the
because
key.
all I can hear now is you shuffling around. Which I will, people may notice I'm padding right now because it's not great content.
Okay.
Because I can't tell when you're ready, by the way.
Yeah. I sorry, I was getting the items closer.
I figured you were grabbing stuff, yeah.
Okay, I'm ready now. Are you
Okay.
ready for number one?
Yes. Okay. Can I have the sound again?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I think the first time, though not the second time, I heard more of a tin kind of sound.
Oh.
So I'm wondering whether that was maybe the tongs. But it's slapping against something with no reverberation, which is making me think like a rubber. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say a flip-flop and tongs.
Oh, you get 1 point, Cambo. The tongs was correct. I've done it with the Tupperware container.
Okay, yeah. The plastic doesn't have that much reverb.
Okay, Cambo. Next one. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay. I'll pad a bit more, Nelson. Pad away.
Fantastic pattern, Cambo. Couldn't have done it better myself. Okay, ready?
Okay.
You might need that one again.
Yeah, I think I do. I wonder if that's the flip-flop.
It's very generic.
Yeah, it is a very generic sound. I'm going to say... So, can you run me through the items
do you know what
one
I've
more
just
time?
realized?
What?
On Taskmaster, they probably put more effort into hitting things together that might sound slightly different.
Yeah. Can you run me through the items just one more time?
Yeah. Bottle of wine.
Yep.
Saxophone.
Yep.
Pillow. Spiky ball.
Yep.
Dish. Crystal dish.
Yep.
Flip flop.
Yep.
Magazine. Helmet. And Tupperware container.
I'll go Flip Flop magazine.
And tongs. Flip flop and magazine. Oh, 0 points. Cambo. Is actually, I tried to trick you. I've gone back for the Tupperware container. But
I did think that at first.
I hit that against the saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. The saxophone did not make the noise I was expecting.
I was hoping that
More
it
of a
would-
clang I was expecting.
Yeah. Maybe I
Now
need
that's going to throw my senses off.
I might need to hit it on a different part. Maybe I will later on. We'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay, let me just PAD over here, Nelson. If you realize what that spells.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Here we go. Next sound.
Yep. Okay. Now, was that the crystal or the bottle?
Ooh.
I think. I can you do it one more time? Okay, I reckon the ball's involved. Because I'm hearing the boom, like the kind of reverb that you get with one of those spiky balls.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the crystal.
0 points, Cambo. That was the bottle of wine and the helmet.
Oh, so, okay. Bottle of wine. It was a 50-50 between that and the crystal.
Yeah.
I just chose wrong. Wouldn't have got the helmet, though.
Yeah. The helmet's a tricky one.
It had more of a boing than I was expecting it to.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. It's taking a shock, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Here's your next one.
Yeah. Pillow and Tupperware.
Oh, pillow. You get a point. Pillow and thong / flip flop.
Thong. Can I say, it's only now that I'm realizing that Daredevil is bullshit, man.
Yeah. He's got no
How
hope.
does he tell anything? If anything, I think my hearing's worse.
Yeah. I rely so much on my side.
To really tell what things are.
Okay, here's the next one.
Yep. Okay.
Do you want
Okay.
it again?
Yes, please. I feel like I heard some crinkle, which makes me think magazine. Mm-hmm. What's hitting the magazine, though, is stumping me. I'll say, just because I didn't know what it sounded like before, saxophone.
Yeah, you got it.
Did I really?
Magazine is saxophone.
Oh, my God.
Turns out hitting the saxophone at a different part still didn't really make much of a difference, unique sound.
And hitting it with a magazine, I could have told you wouldn't have made much of a saxophone noise.
I was hitting the buttons of the saxophone this time, and I thought you might actually get a bit of the. Because hold on, let me get the saxophone.
Okay, I'll pad.
There's a bit of this,
Oh, okay.
and I was hoping to get a bit of that.
Yep.
In it, which is
for-
like specific.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say, I was hoping to hit one of the buttons and see if any sound came out. To which I was about to have to break the news to you. That's not how the instrument works.
What? I've had this saxophone for years. I just thought it was broken. Okay. Should this be the last one? I don't know. Let's see how we get.
Okay.
Okay.
If I get it, let's end on a high.
Okay.
Rubber ball, crystal ball.
Oh, he's got it! Yes! He's got it, ladies and gentlemen!
We should have filmed this. No one's going to believe me.
No one's going to believe you. Yeah, you've done it.
All right, I'm going to take...
Take that off.
Wow.
And,
it's so bright.
yeah.
Should have had my eyes closed for so long.
So that was... What's that noise?
Deceptively hard.
I've just titled it that. Yeah. It's sad. Admittedly in the Taskmaster version, one of their items was a fake leg. That just sounds like anything.
Yeah.
That all of the sounds sounded like a fake leg hitting something. But yes, that was Podnapping.
Wow.
Oh, and actually the show.
Oh, yeah. yeah. Because we've recorded in advance, we have not allowed for letters to come through.
Yeah. We
Send them in, please.
We were already running a little bit low, and now we've gone through them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were starting to run low, and then we did a huge old clear out of letters in a back recording thing.
So yeah.
But think of this short episode, lovely.
Oh, short episode. Think of all the things you could do.
Feel it as though you got more time, and not that we put out less.
Don't put this back on us.
No.
Okay.
We've done you a favor and we've let you go early.
say-
Have you, as a teacher, ever let you out of class early?
Yeah.
Think of it like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
And also, don't get used to this either.
Yeah.
No. And also don't prefer it because from
We have so many rules to listening to this show.
from day dot, we've always said we'll be under an hour. And then it gets to an hour and I'm like, still so much left to go. So I can't promise that this will always be the case.
Let's know how it felt, though. Not if you preferred it, but how did around about an hour feel?
How'd it feel?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 74. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah. If you do want to write in, and
If you'd
please
like
do,
to.
because we've done a backlog now, and
Yeah.
we've flushed out all the emails.
You can reach us, Reddit Podcast, readitpodcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
You can also reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all READIT Podcast. Would also appreciate it if you could subscribe and rate our show.
Love it.
And
I will say, just as a bit of a shout out, if you are a listener of ours in Melbourne, we've seen the numbers. It's not too many. Most of them are in America.
Yeah.
But if you are in Melbourne, go out to the Melbourne Comedy Festival, which is about to start.
Do it.
It's on right now as this episode goes out.
Yeah.
And go see some shows. Eden, who does Cancel Movie Report with me, has 2 shows. I think you probably missed one of them by now. But the other one's still going.
Yeah.
Called Game Boys Into the Metaverse, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Megaverse, perhaps.
yeah.
Always very funny. But go see some comedy shows at Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Do it. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later.